It's been requested that I bring you guys some of the best MOBAs that we could play on mobile, and what I've decided to do in this video is bring them to you kind of in order. In the beginning of the video, you'll see some that you may already know of that are more popular, and as we get towards the end of the video, we'll get to those more obscure names that you probably don't know of. In my opinion, the better ones are in the beginning of the video, which is part of the reason why they're more popular. But if you want something different, new, or just want to learn about something different, wait until the end of the video and you'll see a few names that you've probably never heard of. So let's dive into the top 10 MOBAs on mobile. First on today's list is League of Legends Wild Rift. Coming from the original League of Legends title, which was on PC and console, Wild Rift has come to the scene quite a while ago, and it is really, in my opinion, one of the best mobile games. Not only MOBAs, I think it's really a fantastic game in general, overall. People to play whether they're big into MOBAs or even if they are not. This game not only looks fantastic, but it also is seamless and actually perfect in gameplay as well. It really serves the MOBA genre perfectly, and it really stays true to what everyone knows of League of Legends on PC. Now, yes, of course, there are differences here, but it still is a really good example of what a MOBA should look like, but in mobile form. Next, we have Arena of Valor, and this one's not as popular in the United States as it is across the world, but this is one that's been around for about 5 or 6 years now, and believe it or not, I used to cover this game on the channel fairly regularly when I started YouTube years ago. It's another MOBA that I think is really fantastic. It's one of the 4 that I would have to go back and forth and say, should I play this one or this one? It does capture the MOBA experience perfectly, as does League of Legends Wild Rift. So really you have to kind of look at these games, see the graphics, play them for the little, to see how smooth it is for you maybe on your device, and maybe even see where your friends are playing so you could play with your friends, of course. But these MOBAs are absolutely incredible options for you, and Arena of Valor, it doesn't disappoint. Mobile Legends Bang Bang is one of the most original mobile MOBAs. This one was out before any of the others. It can be fairly intense in social settings, and it is really done well as well. I've played quite a bit of all of these games so far, and this is one of the ones that I think is really done well. If you want something that has history behind it, this one has more history than any other. At least on mobile, that is, because of course the others were on other platforms for quite a while. We also dive into esports with many of these titles here today, so if you're looking to be a competitive gamer and you want to get started on your phone, this is another great option to do just that. This is your old school 3-lane style MOBA gameplay that's super smooth, super fun, with a ton of characters to choose from. So out of all the games, Pokemon Unite is probably the newest one so far on today's list, and yet another one of the best. It has the cleanest graphics of all of the games. It is the newest of all the games, and it does take the MOBA style and do a little bit something different with it. Instead of at the end of your lane trying to take down a tower, you have to sink a basket, kind of like a basketball themed ending right through the ring. It's different, it's a way to score, and it's just a different take on the mobile MOBA genre. So if you add all that up, with it being a Pokemon title, this one is guaranteed for success. It has already seen success, it does extremely well, has a massive following, extremely smooth to play, and it represents mobile genre of MOBAs very well, with that twist as you get to score in the ring. Believe it or not, guys, there's not a huge variety of MOBAs on mobile. If there's any more that you know of that I haven't yet mentioned, let me know in the comments section below. STARFALL Arena is up next, and now we're starting to get to some of the names that maybe you guys haven't heard of. The ones that aren't the most popular of all, but still are really good representations of MOBAs on mobile. As you can see right here, the graphics inside of the game maybe are a little bit more cartoony than the ones that we've previously seen, but still look really nice. The colors are really good, and it does keep to that typical MOBA style gameplay. Most of the games on today's list will stick to that gameplay, but not all of them, so make sure you stay tuned until the end because I have some really cool ones that you're going to want to check out as well. But this one is one, it's got your 3 lanes, it's got your typical MOBA style gameplay, and it's one that's not the road most traveled, so maybe it's one that you'd want to check out, especially if you're an enthusiast of MOBAs. Next, we have Heroes Evolved, and I'll tell you, these games are becoming to look more and more similar. Even the logos are getting similar looks to them as well. With that being said, this one has received 4.6 stars in the App Store, so it's definitely liked and it's downloaded by millions of people, so it obviously is a good representation of the genre. Next, we have Legend of Ace, and are we trying to take the title of League of Legends here a little bit? Possibly. With that being said, it looks very nice. The graphics are on point inside of this game. Tons of different characters that you could play as inside of the game. And of course, it gives you and it offers that typical MOBA style gameplay. Now remember, inside of a MOBA, game modes are not super quick. They take quite a bit longer to get through than maybe a typical strategy game. For example, if you're playing Clash of Clans for about one attack, it's going to take you 3 minutes. But inside of a MOBA, you're going to be playing for between 10 and 15 minutes to get done with that battle itself, which is totally cool if that's what you're expecting from your gameplay session. ONMYOJI Arena is up next, and as you can tell, this one is a bit more of a foreign style game. But with also that being said, it stood the test of time, being around for 5+ years at this point in time, and as you can tell, it stands true to the genre. It doesn't go and do anything crazy outside of the box to try and differentiate itself. It just puts a fairly strong mobile MOBA experience at the table for you to choose between. So some of you may ask, why would I choose one of these MOBAs towards the end of the list that are not as popular, maybe possibly not as good, over the ones in the beginning of the list? And to be honest with you, if it were me, I'd probably choose one of the few that were more popular, one of the few that was at the beginning of the list if I were looking to dive into something in a more serious level. But if I'm just playing for fun and I want to explore MOBAs, it's always fun to check out other ones that aren't as traveled as the ones that we saw earlier on. Next, we have Extraordinary Ones, and this is your anime style MOBA for all of you anime fanatics out there. Very similar style of gameplay, but the characters or heroes that you're going to be unlocking are very different. It definitely has a more casual feel to this title, as we've seen in others, but when you're looking at the gameplay and the art, it actually does look very nice. Does just have kind of a different vibe to the game. And that might be a reason why you would play this one. If you love anime and you love a little bit more of a cutesy, more casual style gameplay, this could be an option for you. That would be the reason why you'd want to play this one. And things get even more casual from here as we get into Heroes Strike. This one here is a MOBA / Battle Royale style game, so notice we are straying a little bit from the traditional MOBA style. The next few games that you're going to see definitely aren't traditional 3-lane MOBAs, but they are examples of things that have MOBA elements to them. This one is where you're dropped into a world in a Battle Royale style, and a lot of the battles take place in a MOBA style battlefield. With that being said, mechanics are similar to that of MOBAs as well as upgrade progressions. It's definitely a fun game with multiple different game modes that you could explore to see which ones you like the best. Next up, we have THETIN Arena, and this is one I played quite a bit of actually. It used to be an NFT style game, so you'd actually be able to buy the NFTs and they would be your playable characters. To be fair, I don't know how thriving the NFT element of this game is going right now. It's another one of the MOBAs that has multiple different gameplay styles, multiple different characters that you can play, and is loosely related to a MOBA. Very much also a Battle Royale style and a fighter style game. But THETIN Arena does have a MOBA game mode that is true to the mobile MOBA experience that we saw earlier on today's list. So here you have multiple different characters that are able to be used in multiple different game modes, one of them being a MOBA, which I actually think is really smart as a game developer, creating your game and essentially having multiple different styles of games inside of one. This one's a ton of fun and really worth a grind and worthy of your time. Definitely worth checking out if you don't mind straying from the traditional MOBA. And next we have Fog. Now this one is called Fog MOBA, but really it's not much of a MOBA at all. It's more of a Battle Royale style game. With that being said, this is one of my favorite games on today's list. You're going to be dropping into a world, very loose MOBA gameplay style. It's, like I said, much more open space, being pulled in by the storm, battling it out in a PvE experience, actually PvEVP, and it's going to be able to give you hours of enjoyment. I mean, to be very fair, it's far from a MOBA, but it's a ton of fun. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on tomorrow's video, because you know I'm bringing you guys the best games every single day.